Hey guys, what's up? So it's a weekend and I was just going through my comic book stash and I thought of making a short video. So one of my friends had recently gone to Seattle on his office trip and he bought me few comics, not much, but wanted to show it off. So this is The Return of Bruce Wayne by Grant Morrison. Uh, Along this story, the artist will keep changing, so that is something we'll definitely discuss later on. But this, I like the cover, right? You could see the bat symbol that uh, is part of this cover, and it follows the same pattern throughout. But look at the minute details in this cover, right? Um, as you could see, Bruce Wayne fighting off set of nomad people, and from the background, more people are emerging. He's dressed up in this bat cowl, right? So it's a super awesome cover. So this story is somewhat an important story as far as I know to Dark Knight's Metal. So because it talks a lot of it brings about a lot of characters and themes for the dark metal, right? So it starts off with this nomadic people discovering a alien spaceship kind of vehicle, and then they going on a quest to find out what it is, who it is behind it, and then from the cave um, to which they are going, there emerges none other than Bruce Wayne, right? So that's how the story kicks off. The beauty about this story is it takes you through a journey across different times, right? And how Bruce, you know, works his way around, uses his skills, although he doesn't remember clearly who he is or from where he came from, and that's what he discovers on the way. But if you see clearly, you could see the great artwork in this pages, right? Bruce getting Superman cowl here and stuff like that, right? So a great story. So these people are called the Deer People, and they are going to be attacked by this gang, right? So it's the origin story of something called as Bad People, because this is the first time they encounter Bruce, and he shows off his bad colors quite fast, right? And another person who plays a very important character in this book is, of course, this guy who is the head of the um, warriors, and he is none other than Vandal Savage, you know. And this is before he has achieved immortality and travels through time. But these are all cannibals, right? As you could see. So great story, great book if you guys ever want to pick it up, right? Great artwork as you could see throughout the book, so no complaints there. And Bruce gets captured, and this guy who was part of the people, his father, everybody gets killed, and he adopts a kind of like a bad costume and follows Bruce. I don't want to spoil the story for you, but definitely a good pickup. So this is how Bruce comes back, right? And he's dressed up like the bat, which is super cool, right? And that's how it is, right? So very interesting story. And of course, Bruce gets only limited time in each of the story arcs, because soon he goes to a different time, right? So what he does within that timeline is all what the story talks about, which is brilliant, right? And then you see a host of other people like Superman, Green Lantern, and all of them, they are following Bruce, and they keep checking, but they always seem to miss him in the last minute, right? But anyways, brilliant book, brilliant storyline, and it's like, I like the way the book has arrived to me in pristine condition, not like how you get the comic books in India. So that's great. So that's part one. On to part two, right? So this is when he arrives at a different time. This is, I think, in the 1800s somewhere, where there are witches and there are witch hunters, and those sort of times, and a sort of witch finds her, and she tells that her name is Diana, uh, right? But look at the artwork in this. It really brings out all the times in a brilliant way, right? So there are a lot of other things going on in this story, so it may take some time for you guys to get at what actually is going on, because people so Batman got hit by omega beams at the end of Infinite Crisis, and he's been thrown back in time, and the Justice League is following him, is all part of this story, right? But enjoy the story for what it brings from the past times, and how a Batman kind of person can fit in those times is the best part of this book, right? Just taking you page by page, but as the story builds up, right? So this beautiful cover, this one, wish I got that one at some point in time, but nice book. See, again, part 2 is about um, some fights and stuff like that, and you know, actually don't know what to say. I mean, it's just a brilliant book, but it's a complicated storyline is all what I can say. This is part 3, and now from the which time Bruce gets thrown into the time of the pirates. I think this is Blackbeard. So what happens there? Oh, see, this is from the Infinite Crisis, Darkseid, right? This is a good storyline. I think of the 4 books which I have of this series, I thought this was the best of the storyline, right? It had some intriguing parts to it, kind of like a treasure hunt, and how the detective, um, you know, in Bruce takes over, and some stuff like that. But it's a good collector's edition for sure. As you can see, right? Let me know if you need more details on this book. I will definitely be able to share. But the funny part is, a lot of these timelines are mixed up. There is Vandal Savage coming in. Also, Batman goes inside to this bat tribe, and he finds his own cowl and belt, which he had left in the first, if you remember the first story arc. It talks about pirates and their stories and all that kind of stuff. So pretty intriguing. From there, he gets thrown off into a cowboy time, which is where the next book picks up, and this is an important character there, Jonah Hex, who is the bounty hunter, right? So that's number 3 for Return of Bruce Wayne. And finally we have number 4, right? Again, the artists keep changing. Like I said, it's Grant Morrison story, but I don't have any complaints. The art is still brilliant as ever across these books. So this is Cowboy Bruce, right, who comes into this storyline. So story starts getting a bit complicated in between, and I, for one, who has not completely followed the DC timeline, didn't completely understand, so I was just enjoying the story that was within these pages and the artwork in it, rather than going and questioning everything that was part of the DC universe. Maybe I need to get a much deeper knowledge into all that stuff that keeps going on, but a good pickup and good storyline. Again, I mean, every story ends up with Bruce getting thrown out from this timeline to the next. And the funny part is, all of this gets connected to Gotham. So everything happens in Gotham, right? In and around Gotham, and it connects also to the Wayne family in some way, which is quite brilliant, right? So that's it, guys. So I have only 4 books in this collection right now, the ones which I showed you. So if you get a chance, do really pick up this book. uh, thumbs up from me. Really nice storyline from Grant Morrison. And if you are a Dark Knight Metal fan, do really pick it up because again, look at this artwork, right? The background you could see. Yeah, it also adds to the Dark Knight Metal storyline. So that's also another plus to this series. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe. Bye bye.